Iran says that Trump's 48-hour claim is fake news meant to manipulate the markets. What do you think? I mean, 70% of the time, the things he says are designed to manipulate markets. If at any point you think he is saying something to help himself or his buddies get rich, you're probably spot on.
It sounded like bullshit from the start. Will Republicans finally find the guts to impeach this idiot?
Republicans admitting they're wrong?
Trump is a grifter. Release the Epstein files. Remember the victims.
Yes, he's been doing it since he took office. His family's wealth has grown significantly in the last year.
More likely, he's trying to buy time because he has no damn clue what he's doing. I actually believe Iran, since Trump and company continually lie about everything. Well, of the two, Iran has never lied to me. Trump, on the other hand, I think it's lies released to manipulate the markets. Don't minimize the crimes with ambiguous terms.
Golly, do you really think Donald Trump would manipulate the markets?
It's absurd. Trump is an honest, stand-up guy. I think that if he did, that would be illegal. Everyone in the world, minus 30% of Americans, knows that he is the biggest and best con man who ever lived. I'll give him that, but the wheels always fall off eventually. There are many better con men. They just don't try all day, every day. Not only am I agreeing with an adversary country that we, the US, initiated a war with, it pains me greatly that their news reporting is almost certainly more honest. On the flip side, we have Trump and his lackey leadership shamelessly trying not just to dismantle the concept of civilian leadership over the military, but a full frontal assault on the Constitution. I think both Trump and Iran are doing their best to send whatever messages are in their own respective interests. Neither gives a crap about the US or the people of the US, but one of them lies and says they do. I mean, obviously that's the case. Trump is unhinged and crazy, though, so his mind will change every sentence.
You know it's bad when you believe the Iranians over our own president.
Because your president lies every single time he opens his mouth. Every single person in the world outside of the US sees this clearly. I think Trump is stalling until those Marine Corps MEUs arrive in the Gulf. The Japan-based MEU will perhaps be off Oman's Indian Ocean coast by March 27th, San Diego-based MEU around April 1st. When the MEUs arrive on station, expect the US to try and take Iran's Karg Island and establish small footholds on Iran's southern coastline around the Straits of Hormuz. Capturing Karg is about trying to economically strangle Iran, while the Straits footholds will be about trying to end the closure of the Gulf to shipping. I don't believe anything Trump says. Gas went over $4 in my area today. His threats did not change a thing. Wait, lifting sanctions on Iranian oil, thereby helping to fund our opposition's war effort, had no effect on gas prices? Wow, who could have expected this result? Nobody. That's who.
Yes, but you aren't in the inner circle. Your $4 gas helps line the pockets of the already rich.
We have $7 around me in Southern California.
The entire thing is a scam. The billionaires extracted as much money as possible from us in private industry, so now they are stealing all of our tax money and worse, getting the country into horrible debt while stealing all that money. Then they will run out the back door as we collapse into a Great Depression. They are enemies to America, they are traitors, and Trump is the worst one. They should all be prosecuted as traitors to America.
What's the punishment for treason?
I think it is proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that in this case, and many, many others, Trump has been blatantly engaging in market manipulation. The world is suffering the consequences of his bottomless greed.
Iran is correct. Also, Trump's new deadline just happens to fall right after the markets close on Friday.
Jesus, is this entire sub just loaded questions at this point? Of course it's a scam. Of course Trump is manipulating the markets for profit. Of course everyone knows it. No, the people you're after won't admit it. Agreed. Several unusually large trades occurred right before his announcement. Luckily, the statute of limitations will fall into the next presidential election.
Immediately, as in day one, the SEC needs to act like a shark and go after everyone who made a profit from Trump's blatant market manipulation.
It's sad when I believe the country we have an active conflict with is a more reliable source of information than the president of my country. Edited to change war to conflict so I don't imply Trump has gotten us into a war without approval from Congress.
Remember, we're not at war because that would violate the Constitution. We aren't in conflict with Iran. The American people overwhelmingly did not want this. Our fascist government declared war on a nation that served no threat to us.
Greater than. Edited to change war to conflict, you should edit it back. There is an international definition of war in the International Law of Armed Conflict, which leaves no doubt, and this definition is ratified by the USA too. War can either be declared by formal declaration or by military action. Expending a decade's worth of production of your military's ammunition stockpiles on a foreign country isn't exactly a subtle case of declaring war by military action. A country under the rule of law and the military of such a country would not have struck Iran, but would have laughed at anyone giving such an order without congressional approval and declined the order with a statement of, "You are not in command."
Iran's more honest than USA or Israel. That's what I think.
It's disappointing that Iran is not afraid to tell us that the emperor has no clothes, but most mainstream media is still gushing about how he's wearing only the finest fabrics and his clothes look fantastic.
That's because the media, including social media, is largely owned by his billionaire buddies.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps. Subscribe for more and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one.